Texans have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And Bo Melton with a touchdown reception to finish the drive off. This one fielded at the 5. Oh, good return up past the 30. Houston set to take over as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Foya Sade Aluakin from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game, 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. That's taken on the 25. A terrific return there, 27 yards all told. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. They go play action now. Lawrence. This pass complete to Melton. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. So, roughing the passer penalty, never one that you like to see.
Not at all, and especially when you're in that final push of the season. You can't afford to get your quarterback hurt before the playoffs roll around, and we know they'll be here before you know it.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Lawrence with the handoff to Robinson. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Now, this is just the last thing you want to see in the final week of the regular season. Well, I hope he's okay. We'll step aside and be right back. And they'll run with Etienne. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Travis Etienne with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Jaguars take a 3-touchdown lead. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
From the 6. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Houston's offense taking over again. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mills, short little throw to Ebron. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you had there, because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't throw the ball with the same confidence. You're not sure that that's where you should go with the football, and that's worked for the defense early in this game. And now he's got his first completion. Let's see if his confidence comes back and he starts to get into a nice little groove.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. From the gun, here's Mills. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 21-0, our score after 1. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They run straight ahead with Snell, and not able to break away this time, as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. From the shotgun, it's Mills. And Cooks has it over the middle. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Holding offense.
Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
Mills throw there, complete to Myers. On the move past the 40. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw, as here late in the season, he goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go.
officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
3rd and long for Mills. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th.
Jason Myers on for the field goal. A 38-yard attempt.
Myers' kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So they do come up with their first points of the game. But, Charles, the question is going to shift to their defense.
Yeah, the way things have gone, 3 points could become insignificant fast if this grows to 28-3 or 35-3. They need this defense to come up with a stop, and they need to do it now.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan.
He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Jaguars. Only the 2 catches for him thus far, CD, but both of them have resulted in touchdowns.
And I think he's on the bench right now, Brandon, smiling at his position coach and telling him, all those times you talked to us about efficiency, I'm living it right now.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out comes Houston. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit.
Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble, and the Jags grab it. Room here to run. Inside the 20. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. Charles, they are putting on a show right now. I mean, with that fumble return for the touchdown, you think about the size of this advantage. Heck, it's a 4-score game right now, and we're still in the first half.
And that has to be the highlight, Brandon, with how frequently we see fumbles return to the house. But if you aren't inclined to pick this as the game signature play so far, you do have no shortage of alternatives to select from. This has been nothing short of a clinic. And as noted, we still have a half a ball to play.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Brandon Cooks trots back onto the field with the rest of this Texan offense. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts. One of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. A second down throw from Mills. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Andre Sisco. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Extra point attempt here still to come. And the route is on here in this first half. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And this offense on third down today, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Mills. And this is going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. And now out come the Jags.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Lawrence will throw. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. With a second touchdown in this 1st half. And the Jaguars are able to add on to their 1st half lead.
We need to double check here, Martin, because he keeps all of our good stats. But what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And
I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay, because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
A 1st down throw for Mills. That's underneath to Pierce.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this 1st half of action. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. To throw, Mills. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Mills to throw it.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
It's caught left side by Cooks. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. Creeping up on a minute to play in this 1st half. Mills again. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. A nice gain of 21 yards. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. His pass caught at the 4. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On 2nd and goal, Mills. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Jason Myers on for the field goal from 19 yards.
Myers' kick is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit.
So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
The Jags going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10.
Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. Quick slant complete to Melton.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown.
They really had their way so far in the first half. They wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
And the Texans going to get the football one final time here in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, these 2 teams, you might recall, met back in mid-season, Week 8 to be exact. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's got room. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Myers' kick is good. And that... for this first half. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's all down to this. Week 18 of the NFL regular season. Lots to be decided, so let's get right to it. We'll begin our trip around the NFL at Mercedes-Benz.
Hey, we get it. No time to waste. Playoffs starting next week. We skip right over halftime and get back to the action.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look.
Well, here we sit, week 17, just one more week in the regular season after this one. So if you're one of these teams trying to make a move and improve your spot or jump in from the outside, Charles, you better make that move now.
And these final games are often a good barometer for all those teams fighting for position or a wild card spot. They have to be able to get the job done these last 2 weeks before things get even tougher when the playoffs officially begin.
After the sack on first down, Lawrence, he sets to fire deep. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Bo Melton,
73 yards.
and the Jaguars are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time.
Takes it at the 7. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half.
First and 10 now for Mills and the Texans
At their 25-yard line.
Here's Mills.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Jags grab it. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him.
Straight ahead, Etienne.
And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On second down, Etienne once more.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Etienne will score. Touchdown, Jacksonville. The turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, I'd say that grin's breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Now comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game... This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Working out of the gun, Mills.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
Mills now looks to throw on 1st down.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
The time called here because a member of the Texans is in some discomfort.
This is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 down at the 33.
1st and 10, it's Pierce.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, there's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From the 30 on 2nd down,
Mills. And Mills is intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jags are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
It's just been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for them. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for them here.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And they worked this well upfield across the 45. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
1st down, Jaguars.
Here's Lawrence. Lawrence hit and the ball is free.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the 2nd half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
He's going to try and go deep again. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A big play there. 53 yards.
And the Jaguars get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
Extra point attempt to come here. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. 5 plays there on that drive. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Takes it at the 7. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
And here comes the Texans now.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Looking to throw his Mills.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game.
1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Houston. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd down and 12.
Throwing, Mills.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Shaquille Griffin with a pick.
Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you could always get the backups some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up. It's fun.
I love the way that you expressed that because you gave plenty of reasons why people like to do things. But ultimately, they just like to keep everybody on the gas, and they just want to chomp on teams. And what I like to see is, if you like to do that, how do you handle it when it comes back against you? On those days where someone can run it up on you, do you handle it the way that you expect your opponent to? If so, keep doing your thing. Up huge on the scoreboard, and they're still trying to add to their total. That shot doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll dissuade them from attempting another one.
Here we go! 80 weapons! Go! Go! Hey, hold it!
4th down. Here's Lawrence.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jags come up empty on 4th down, and this Texans defense stands tall. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as
Mills hit, and he loses the ball.
And the Jags grab it. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Houston set to take over. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. 1st and 10 now for Mills and the Texans
at their own 25-yard line.
Mills now.
Looking for Shepard deep. And now here is another interception.
And the Jaguars will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter.
Play action. It's Lawrence. Pass complete across the formation to Melton. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And now they're in the hurry-up.
On 2nd down, a run with Etienne.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
58 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Caught the defense off guard there a bit on 2nd and long, but now you still have to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence.
Able to find Isabella.
And he is going to have the Jaguars first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. A shotgun snap and a give to Etienne.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. On 2nd and 11 now. Lawrence, wide open receiver complete. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
The Texans offense set to regain possession. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
Mills hit, and he loses the ball.
And the Jags grab it. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston.
Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Now Mills.
Open man right side, Myers. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move. Mills can't get away, and down he goes.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over.
CD, I mean, they have just been scoring at will. It's been score after score after score, and a lot of times we use the term blowout for a lopsided ball game. This has kind of gone past that. I think we're in historic territory right now.
You nailed it. Historic territory. Perfect phrase for what we were watching. If this were a movie, what kind of rating would we put on it? Who would you allow to watch what we're watching right now? Let's hope this one gets over fast, because this game, well decided a long time ago.
Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up.
Well, Week 18, this is just when you hope everybody can get through the regular season healthy, but the medical staff is going to have to take a look here. And we'll
fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out, and the Texans scoop it. And now look at him go. He's at the 50, and he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
In today's NFL, most teams don't have as many goals for the game like we used to have, where you checked off your boxes. But 0 turnovers, that's a universal. And while it won't likely cost them in this game, they're going to regret the fact that they coughed one up here.
Yeah, their first blemish. They had mistake-free football prior. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And my goodness, another interception. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. There he goes left side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Heading out as the Texans offense as they get set to take over here.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
And it's a fumble, and the Jags grab it. And some room to roam now.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the fourth, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Texans set to come onto the field.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Myers connects on the PAT as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
From the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're in control here as they start 1st and 10 and appearing to have righted the ship following that 2-game losing streak. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Jags,
they finish things off in style, putting a bow on a 14-3 regular season.
And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Texans,
this loss will be the capper to a dismal 4-13 campaign.